When you travel through the Caribbean, they don't ask if you come from Dominica, they ask if you come from Skerrit country. Now they'll ask you if you come from Dr. Skerrit country.
When I got involved in politics, what I do is I don't help people in exchange for a vote.
If labor is putting you in a house, you must keep labor in the house.
I help people because it is within me and my heart, my conscience to help those who need help.
Yes, Lucy, right? Janet, I have you down. I have you down. I have you taken care of. Let me tell you something. Janet, not easy, you know. Let me tell you something. But thank God Janet supporting me, Baba. We've all agreed here tonight by your applause and by your utterances that at the appointed time, you will demonstrate your profound gratitude to the Dominica Labour Party administration by putting us back in the house to continue.
And if you recall, some years ago, we had purchased and delivered devices to every single child in Dominica.
And we want to thank the government of President Nicolas Maduro, the government and people of Venezuela, for financing the entire cost of the tablets that will be given to you, the students of Dominica. And when you look at the way that we have managed the affairs of Dominica up till today, it speaks volumes to the responsible approach that we have taken. And with all of these things, Maria, and I'll stick to Maria and Erica alone, we never ask anybody for debt forgiveness. We never ask anybody for debt forgiveness. And we never ask any country for debt payments deferrals.
6 years earlier.
We have started to discuss with those whom we owe. I have in fact gone further as Minister of Finance and written to some of our partners and multilateral organizations, institutions, on the issue of debt forgiveness or the restructuring, or in some cases deferring the commencement or suspending the payments of the interest and penalties for a period of time to allow us to recover. One case in point is the Commonwealth that has suspended our payments in light of the storm and deferred our payments for 2015, 2016. And a number of other organizations have done that, in recognition of the fact that Dominica is under critical financial strain and would require all the help it can get, as small as that help might be, whether it's $1,000 from a school in Barbados, to $50 million from a country. Debt forgiveness is an important element. And of course, we'll engage the public on the renaming of the hospital. We'll be engaging the public on suggestions on which distinguished Dominican or international figure we should rename this hospital, because I'm sure many of us have never met and may not have known Princess Margaret. We have no difficulty with her, but I think we have distinguished Dominicans who have assisted us in area of health that that could bear the name of the hospital. I do not know yet, so we'll hear from the public on that and so. I felt it necessary as the leader of the country to attach the name China to this hospital, because I want not only current generations but succeeding generations to appreciate the contribution of China to Dominica. When you admire somebody in the world, most of us, we name our children after that person. Well, unfortunately, Dominica doesn't have a child, so we can name after China, but we have a facility which all of us will use at some point, and to ascribe China and to show the bonds of friendship which exist between Dominica and China. I call it China-Dominica Friendship Hospital. What a wonderful name. for us to celebrate now and succeeding generations.
So, look the proof. Now they come and tell you about Scary City House's government house.
Every one of these houses that we are building under the CBA program belong to the state, 100%. So it's a state asset.
The house, that house is your house. And they tell you Scary saying, well, the house that we gave you in Bellew Shopping is government house. Let me tell you something, my dear brothers and sisters. You see, all of you who got a letter from the government and a key from the government, that house is yours forever.
So on Bellew Shopping, we had a proposal, how much it's going to cost for this component, that component, and then there's an allocation of citizenship to shares to be able to finance the construction of this.
Yes.
And so where the housing is concerned, as opposed to the real estate, the housing, every one of these houses that we are building under the CBA program belong to the state, 100%. So it's a state asset. And there'll be some who will have lifetime access to the homes, and if they were to pass on, these homes will revert to government ownership or will remain government ownership, so we can pass it on to somebody else.
Government will have to seriously consider its approach. Like, for example, insurance. These homes are still the property of the state, and because of that, it's left onto the state to insure those properties. Now, we all believe that insurance is expensive, $200 a month and so on. But we believe with the type of housing, with the resilience built in there, hurricane resilience, we believe that we can negotiate with a company to give us the best possible deal, of which the homeowner will have to participate, even not to the fullest extent, but they have to make a contribution to the insurance of those homes. Because if those homes are hurricane resilient, but I mean, the galvanized, you have a concrete roofing, so you'll be forever safe, but you can use the galvanized and you can have other infrastructural
a missile could come and break the window.
Although the windows are really, how do you call them? Impact resistant.
Yeah.
But you never know. I mean, nobody knew what Maria could do.
Yeah. But so you're looking at reviewing the policy and making, with the intention of making people contribute something.
Don't stay by your mother and rent the house. You come in my office, you cry for it, you kneel down for it, you beg for it. We provide it, move into it and take care of it.
Do not go and buy an expensive fridge because there's an ice dispenser on the door and you just put your glass and you get the ice. You don't need that. Let us do the old way. Let us use the old containers, the old butter container, and make our ice, and we take our ice picker and we pick our ice. What's wrong with that?
And the reality is, in my country, we can supply the region with a wide variety of crops.
Because you know that in the days when banana was king, banana was king. You know, in the days when lime was prince, lime was prince. But all that is history. Vanilla was matador in the days. But where are all this gone?
This has been precipitated, this current program has been precipitated by the challenges brought on by COVID-19 and the supply of food.
But because of the challenges that we face on the international market and challenges with disease, not man-made, but disease, black sigatoka, greening disease, dashing disease, tania disease, yam disease, flower disease, even flowers you try to plant in this country and it's been overtaken by disease.
But the ordinary folks, the farmers, the fishermen, this would help our economy so dramatically.
So what do? Tourism, we know after 9/11, we had some issue with tourism industry. It's now picking up, thanks, and Robert Tong is doing an excellent job in the revival of the tourism sector and the tourism industry. So if it's not that, is what? If it's not the Citizen by Investment program,
I am very concerned about the future, where food security is concerned.
Welcome to Portsmouth. My dear friends, let me tell you that I say it with no reservation that I am a disciple of the late Honorable Rosie Douglas. Not only that, we share the first name, my dear friends, but I also share the vision of the late Prime Minister, and I share his commitment to the people of Dominica and for the development of Dominica and the young people of this country. And I will continue in that stride. I will continue in the same vein that the deceased Prime Minister started for this country, my dear friends. And I make this assurance to you, the people of Portsmouth, that no one will abandon you. I have decided to adopt this place and to ensure that development comes to Portsmouth. And my dear friends, I know that every single member of the government is committed to seeing that development is brought here to Portsmouth. The same kind of vision that the deceased Prime Minister had for Portsmouth, my dear friends, will come to Portsmouth someday. And let me tell you that if for some unfortunate reason that the people decide that they will not be in this to Portsmouth, I will take down my plane and bring my people from Penville, Beckett and Thibault to march down wherever we have to go to get development in Portsmouth.
We have over 35,000 registered vehicles on the streets in Dominica, and we have only 25,000 households. It means, therefore, in certain households, you have 2 and more vehicles. Is that poverty? Labor! Labor!
In section B1 on poverty, I commit my government to reducing the poverty level to 10% by 2020, and to continue relentlessly to wipe out ignorance, poverty, and injustice in Dominica.
Plans are in an advanced stage for the construction of the new National Library, which will provide modern facilities for Dominicans of all ages. Labor Katwavai.
Dominicans, today is the 4th of August, 2020. This is the state of Dominica's only public library where children come to do research and to educate themselves. This is the state of affairs in Dominica. While Roosevelt Skerritt appropriates unto himself $64,000 a month for rental of a property in Mount Daniel, which he says, which a lot of Dominicans believe to be his own building, while the public library, where children come to study, lays abandoned.
One of my greatest disappointments is that we did not get to build a modern library.
And to our young sportsmen and women, the Windsor Park Sports Stadium has opened up opportunities for you, most of whom are young people, to showcase your talents in cricket, in football, and the world over.
In fact, the manifesto speaks to a national sports development plan that includes light and upgrade Windsor Park Sports Stadium, rehabilitate the Geneva playing field, rehabilitate Collyho playing field, construct a playing field in Massac.
Continue to invest in sports by upgrading playing fields and hard courts in every community.
Build an athletic track, rehabilitate all sporting facilities in Dominica.
Construct public tennis courts in select communities.
Cover the Massac basketball court. Construct tennis and netball courts at Portsmouth.
The DLP will build an indoor facility in Stock Farm for a wide range of sports, with the emphasis on basketball, netball, and volleyball. Build an Olympic-sized swimming pool in Roseau.
Build a national multi-sports complex at Stock Farm. Basketball, volleyball, netball, lawn tennis, and swimming.
And in our new term, we will be constructing a state-of-the-art indoor facility to ensure that all of the young people who are engaged in basketball, in volleyball, in netball and the likes they can have this facility. So no longer will you have to be playing in the rain, but this Labour Party government will be taking sports in this country to a new level, my dear friends.
In the next term, the DLP government will continue the housing revolution. It will replace all dilapidated houses and pit latrines by 2020.
We have launched a program, it's been in effect, but we are bringing heightened awareness to it. That is the eradication of pit latrines in Dominica. And I am systematically going about providing the resources to eradicate pit latrines in Dominica, because I want for this country at the end, on December 31st, 2017, to proclaim to the world that we have no pit latrines in our country.
And by the end of this year, every house in Dominica will have a modern day flushing toilet.
Say to ensure that pit toilet will be a thing of the past, ladies and gentlemen, in Marigot. So go tell Lennox, and I'm talking about Lennox Honey Church, to come quick and write the history, because pit toilet will be totally eradicated within 6 months of me being elected in Parliament, ladies and gentlemen.
I have a fight with everybody in Dominica, from Capuchin to Scottsdale, and from St. Joseph to the Carolina Territory, who needs a washroom in Dominica.
Scared give them toilets. They don't have a job. Scared give them toilets. Not even some fish they can buy, but scared give them toilets. Everybody scared give them toilets. They have nothing to eat, but scared give them toilets.
And do not forget that under the Labour Youth Dividend, you can also use money for you to get on your 21st birthday to start or expand your business.
Can you imagine that using part of the revenues from the Citizenship by Investment program, Labour will give every young person just after their 21st birthday a cash lump sum that they can use to do a business, help to secure a house, or apply toward educational training overseas. Labour! Labour! Yes, Dominicans, cash in your hand. No other country in the Caribbean does that. Only in Dominica will young people be given this kind of start.
Look, I understand that some Vincentians and Grenadians and Guyanese, a whole plane load of them arrived, sent down from the United States. And we don't know when our people, Dominicans, will start to come down. Because me and you know that half of our Dominicans outside, they don't have papers in the United States. They don't have papers. And every morning when you see Trump wake up in his tantrum, they're in the basement. 2 days they can't come out in the basement. Because they're not legal in the United States and they cannot come down.
Every organization, for it to function properly, must have a strong and determined leader. A leader who can articulate the vision and the mission of the organization, who can lead his troops to battle, lead his troops to the development of Dominica. Who is the leader of the Workers' Party tonight? No. At least, ladies and gentlemen, I am the leader of the Freedom Party. So if Freedom have a leader, that's me.
You have given me a mandate that constitutionally allows me to remain in office as your Prime Minister until April 2025. I do not intend to go beyond that date. It is my intention to stay on for another 2.5 years.
2 days later.
Who gets up and leaves the leadership of a political party 3 years after an election? Who does that? Who does that?
I mean, come on, who does that?
I am happy to announce to this Honorable House that China Railway No. 5 Engineering Group Company, CR5,
has been selected as the main contractor for the construction of the international airport. Based on the revised project timeline, the airport will be completed and commissioned by November 2026.
After today, the airport will begin to rise out of the ground, then from the ground to the air. And I give you the solemn assurance that planes will land here direct from Europe and the United States of America in 2025.
Once we win this election tomorrow, we will see the start of work on a new international airport. That the government of the People's Republic of China sent a special envoy to me last week to confirm that China will provide the financing to build the international airport for Dominica.
And once we are satisfied with the contents of the MOU, we shall proceed with signing the MOU. And that company will provide us with a conceptual design of the airport. What would the airport look like if we were to pursue the actual drawings and design and construction of the airport? Once we do that, then we'll engage ourselves in further discussions insofar as cost is concerned. But I believe it's an important first step. It's an important step that at least we have a draft MOU before us that we're looking at, that we're reviewing. And once the cabinet approves it in the next week or two, then we might be in a position to sign this MOU to advance the process.
Once we win this election tomorrow, we will see the start of work on a new international airport. These are not pie-in-the-sky promises, ladies and gentlemen. We have the designs and we have the financing. We are merely waiting for the mandate from you tomorrow to get the projects started.
And just to say, next week there'll be a meeting of which ECHO will be represented to go over the next stage for the construction of this international airport. And take note, Madam Speaker, an airport development fund has been established as of May 2017 and has been capitalized with US $10 million from the Citizenship by Investment Program. And government has taken the decision that an amount of US $5 million will be paid into that fund on a monthly basis.
Your Prime Minister was in Beijing, China, signing a technical agreement for the soon-to-be constructed Dominica International Airport.
Central to this project, we hope, will be the possibility of accessing the technical capacity that government requires to manage, administer, and implement the international airport project. We know that the World Bank can provide access to that capacity. When you go out to borrow money from the World Bank or the CDB, you must also, like any citizen who goes to the bank to borrow money to build a home or buy a vehicle, you must show your ability to repay. You see? And based on the size of our economy and the extent of the debt that this airport would create, it would be impossible, absolutely impossible for us to be able to pay, because we know that the World Bank can provide access to that capacity, and we look forward to the engagement on this project in the very short term. As a matter of fact, in our discussion this morning, that issue of air access was discussed with the World Bank.
Currently, we have several irons in the fire. We are negotiating for the best deal. We are speaking with proposed developers on several continents. We have various designs before us, and we are very close to making a final decision. Your Prime Minister was in Beijing, China, signing a technical agreement for the soon-to-be constructed Dominica International Airport. Right. I will not shout out names from the public platform this evening, but I can share with you this evening at least 5 solid proposals that I have in my armor for the design, finance, construction, and operation of an international airport for Dominica. I have firm, solid proposals from a firm in China, from India, from Dubai, and from 2 multilateral agencies, and from independent developers in Europe and the Americas. Once we win this election tomorrow, we will see the start of work on a new international airport.
So we've agreed to bring in the consultants from the United States in the month of August. God willing, to present to them the airport plans and all of the issues that one has to consider towards the construction of the airport, share with them the timetable, the schedule, so that there is a continued buy.
Today, ladies and gentlemen, in the year of our Lord 2019, I can announce to you that the government of the People's Republic of China sent a special envoy to me last week to confirm that China will provide the financing to build the international airport for Dominica.
We have been last for too long in this world. Dominica has been behind in too many things.
I have insurance, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, if my children fall sick, I can fly them out. But what about all of us here, all of you here? How many of us have health insurance?
Somebody falls sick, a lady 42 years old, gets a heart attack or a stroke, or one of them. She has to be airlifted. She could feel sick Friday, you know. Friday after work. She has to be airlifted Saturday morning. What do I say to a family like this? In the circumstance, and they have no means of getting the resources. And the doctors are saying, if this lady is not flown out tomorrow, she's going to die. Yes, I can say a prayer for her. But would the prayer be sufficient? Would the prayer be sufficient?
I do not know anybody in Dominica who is able to provide everything for their children at the times they want it.
Your children will suffer as they suffered between 2000 and 2010.
Labour has been running this country and has brought this country from being the last in the Caribbean to the first. When they're talking about infrastructure in the Caribbean, who you think they're talking about? Dominica. That's it, Labour rights. You know, you've been doing your homework. And Dominica is the envy of the region right now.
Dominica is ahead with climate resilient construction, climate change adaptation, and disaster risk preparedness.
Oi, my neighbor and them house flooding. Help! Look at the iron, the bridge. What? Jesus!
Dominica is ahead with some of the most advanced technology and diagnostic capacity in our new hospital at Goodwill.
The Dominica ambulance got inside of it. Dominica ambulance, people. Dominica ambulance.
While we complain without considering how far we have come from, people here in the region and all over the world are looking on and admiring us in Dominica.
Look at what's happening to Dominica. Look at what's happening to Dominica. And my Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit is calling election. And right now I'm in Rosalie. I'm trapped. I'm walking to my home in Kingsville, and the man calling election is all about himself and staying in power. On a night of a disaster on Sunday, the 6th of November, the man decided to call election, and the people in the northeast and in the east are in crisis. Shame on you, Roosevelt.